But yeah, this really does look impressive and good. Really a lot going on here, vehicle mode. Really nice. The only thing that I always personally found odd was a space shuttle. You know, I get the anti-aircraft truck, helicopter, jeep, tank. But you know, when is a space shuttle a military vehicle in fighting? You know, that's the only one that always personally to me looked kind of an odd fit compared to the other military inspired vehicles here. And overall, all 5 of the robots nicely done in robot mode. So even if you didn't want to use Bruticus just on their own right, each individual robot is well designed, has a nice detailing, really good articulation, especially for this scale. And the plastic is solid. It doesn't feel brittle. It feels like it's gonna stay pretty solid. And just overall, really nice set here. This is blast off in space shuttle mode and 8.5 inches long. And this way, not too thick, it's only about 2 inches. And the space shuttle mode, you can see the colors, the brown, the purple. Look at this. One really cool thing is, see this? It has landing gears right here that fold up at the top. Nothing here at the bottom. But that's just pretty cool that they made that. So when you put it down, just want to show you like the pieces. These are cannons which are removable. So if you want to make it look more like a space shuttle, I'll just take them out here. So this way it looks more like a classic space shuttle configuration here. Just trying to show you the details here. See this? Another nice detail is, check it out. The glass here, it is a translucent plastic. That's just a nice detail that they made that. Trying to show you the design, the overall look. Definitely not bad. And if you, or I guess, and if you want to just see an up view. This is blast off in robot mode. It stands about 8.5 inches tall, and the width is almost 5 inches. It is a nice robot mode, and there is a lot going on with blast off. You see the rocket launchers, and then you see the cannons here on the side. It has, might be tough to see, but like translucent type eyes. Might be a little tough to see that. Let me remove these blasters, and just so it's a little easier to see the details here. The robot mode looks really detailed. See the brown, the purple. Look at that. There's a lot going on here. The design looks pretty nicely done in terms of, it's kind of bulky, it kind of looks like it has a lot going in terms of sculpt, in terms of detailing. And it's just nicely designed, this one. The head can go to the sides, up a little. Shoulder area here, down, can go up or down. This gets in the way a little. Upper bicep articulation at the elbow. The hands have an articulation there. The fingers, and they spin. Waist and the hips to the sides can go up or down. Articulation here. Articulation at the knees. Not too much though in the knee area. And the feet, you do get a little articulation. You can spin it. And that is blast off in the robot mode. Nicely done. This is Brawl in his tank mode. It's supposed to be a leopard tank, if I read that correctly. It is about, first of all, 6, almost 6, but if you count the barrel, almost 8 inches long. And over here it is about 3.5 inches almost. And let's check out the details here. One thing that's really cool is not only does the turret move like that, so you get some good shots here. You see this, the barrel, it's a pretty good up range, and then the down range here. You can remove these two pistol guns here, which I'm going to remove here. Get rid of that one. Take out these two parts, so I could just show the tank better. This is that little flip up scope. And one thing that's really cool is I think the overall design, it looks good for a tank. On Brawl here. This sometimes you see on a tank, I'm not sure. So I could make it kind of look a little cooler. But there is no, when you look at the bottom, there is no wheels. In other words, nothing to roll on the treads here. It's just for show, is what I'm saying. And this sticks out a little bit here. But if you just want it like in tank mode, it does look pretty cool. And that's Brawl. This is Brawl in robot mode. And he has two weapons, which I'll talk about. The tank turret, the tank barrel here, and it forms like a shield on the side. So I got like a shield and a weapon. And let me just separate it so the review is a little easier. These are like flipped down and stuff. And then this, like a shield weapon. Height wise, it is almost 9 inches, and the width is almost 4 inches. And the overall interpretation is, I think the shoulders, by looking so straight up and down, it doesn't look as dynamic as some of the other robots in this series. That's about it you could do. The detailing, not too bad. I like the translucent plastic for the eyes. It's orange, so it stands out a little more than some of the other robots. The articulation to the sides, up or down. The shoulders, the shoulder area can go up or down all the way there. Elbows, wrists, you can spin it. The forefingers have one articulation point. The waist, spin it, hips, in or out, can go up or down. Got the upper thigh cut there. You got the knee articulation. And the feet can go down, up. Not really to the sides, but that's about it. Overall interpretation is not too bad. I think it looks a little better if you add the shield here, so it looks like he has more going on. You add the weapon here, it looks a little, but see, you got to make it straight the arm so it fits. It looks much better if you give him his weapons. It still looks a little bit too plain, I think. Brawl. I like the tank mode better, but it's not too bad. This is Swindle in his vehicle mode. See this? Let's get to the measuring it. It is about 6.5 inches and about 3 inches. This one, the wheels roll very nice. It's plastic wheels. Just a roll bar on the front, goes down. The vehicle mode looks pretty cool. You can remove these two weapons, which I will. But if you remove them, it kind of looks, you know, it doesn't look as right in vehicle form with these type of spaces. This is not, it would have been nice if it would have been translucent, but it's not. It's just painted on windows here. Just the bottom. This is Swindle in robot mode. It is about 8 inches tall and width is almost 5 inches. I think this is a well put together robot mode, and I'll just remove the weapons here to make it look a little easier to review. It's this one and this small one here. And let's try and get to the details here. The head sculpt is pretty good. They have like a translucent plastic sunglasses type look, which is a nice detail. Just trying to give like an overall interpretation here. Just trying to show you the design of the robot, the look. It is well articulated. Good interpretation. And I should mention, to give you this little extra pot here that you're supposed to put here and the weapon, so it's a little like extra accessory that he can also have. And it's only in the robot mode that this is for. The head can go to the sides. You could even flip it back, it really flips back. The shoulder area has some cut there, and you can spin it there. Has articulation at the elbows. The wrists you can spin, and right here the forefingers have a articulation point. Upper body, waist, hips, and up and down, and right here thigh area has a knee articulation, and the feet can flip it up, and you even get a little motion to the sides. Pretty well articulated for this scale. And that's Swindle in robot mode. This is Vortex in vehicle mode. The length is about 9 inches, but almost 10.5 if you count the cannon. And over here, the body, I guess if you want to go by side to side here, is about 5.5 inches, but if you just want the main part, about 2 inches. And you know, this one compared to the other three, it is a little more fragile in terms of everything that's going on. See, these blades, they fall off pretty easy. The 4 blades here. And when I spin it, it kind of like almost hits the back here, which is kind of odd. And this spins. These are removable. But what's really nice is you can pick up, if you wanted to, the translucent plastic, the canopy here. You can see a chair. Hopefully it's going to show up, but even though it doesn't have a figure, you could see the chair, you could see the translucent, the big gun here. And check this out. Hopefully it's going to show, I'm trying here. The wheels, the landing wheels, they flip up. You got a landing wheel here, flips up. And then this one. Very nice that they didn't have to give you landing wheels like that, but they put it in as part of the sculpting. The front cannon here looks intimidating. This is the bottom view. Overall, I don't know, compared to the space shuttle, the tank, and the Jeep, this one kind of looks, transformation wise, it looks a little messy somehow to me. I guess that's the best way to explain it. It doesn't look as put together well in vehicle mode. That's just my opinion, just my interpretation of it. Doesn't look too bad, but I think the robot mode definitely looks better in this one. And if you wanted to, you could remove the cannons here. It looks, I don't know, maybe a little more plain without it. Vortex in robot mode. It's about 8 inches, and the width is about 4 inches. And getting to the Vortex review here, he has this weapon here. He has 3 extra blades, so you see that, and the shoulder cannon weapons, the translucent plastic here. The eyes have that translucent plastic, yellowish, looks good. I'm going to just remove this so you can see the details easier. And I'll remove the sword here. Now let's take a look at the robot. Has a nice unique look to it. The yellow stands out, as well as the dark blue green here, the gray. You could put the extra blades in the back here if you wanted to, but I think it just looks a little better without it. Good robot sculpt here. The head to the sides, shoulder up and down. Can go in or out. Can spin the elbow. The hands, the articulation, the waist, hips to the sides. Can go up or down. Upper thigh cuts there. The knee, yeah, it does have a knee articulation. Can spin that. And the feet, can spin it. Pretty nice articulation overall on all of these figures really in this line. finally, Onslaught and the trailer, which I'll put this in a minute and explain it. It has like two modes you could do. You could just do this, or add this, which I'll do after I show you this one. This one, originally, before you add the attachment, you could flip this down. So I'll keep it down here. It's supposed to be an anti-aircraft truck. That's what they say. The wheels do spin, plastic wheels. So that's pretty cool. It is about 9 inches length and the width about almost 3 inches. Compared to some of the other vehicles, and I put it last, it seems the robot mode here is much better. This seems kinda messy, I think, the transformation. It doesn't look as put together well as the other vehicles. These, like the mirror here, just flips. This is painted in. Would have been nice if it would have been translucent, but it's not. These are removable. They're attached. The bottom looks, I don't know, it looks kinda looks messy. This is the trailer cab. It has little wheels here, and they do work, plastic. And then you're going to attach it here, and you're going to add some parts. So, hold on. This is the trailer cab to Bruticus, and it is an incredible, almost 20 inches long in terms of width. And this trailer thing is about, on its own right, about almost like 11 inches. And I'll just try to show it. It's like really loosely connected. Some of the parts are hard to get in here. Here's an unofficial mod that I've seen in pictures. Some people put the two Bruticus feet and this here, and they just plop it on there. And you could even put these two, you could even put these two hands. It's supposed to go from the picture that I've seen somewhere here, but the problem is these are the connecting points to Bruticus for the hands, and if I attach it here it might like expand these parts, making the connection tough when in robot mode. So I really didn't want to risk using these pegs and possibly messing up the plastic. But there's some like attachment here. But you can see the side view, there is so much going on. Just really look at this. Bruticus. I think if you got rid of this and you just show the trailer, it kind of looks very plain, especially if you got rid of that. But by adding this extra bulk, you just plop it down like that. Just try to put it in the middle. It does make for an impressive image. Robot mode is almost 10 inches tall, and the width is almost 6 inches. Having a kind of a tough time to hold his weapons. He's supposed to hold it in his hands, but it was falling off. But I actually put it on the forearm here, even though it's not listed as something you could do. I think it might look a little better on the forearm. But honestly, with Onslaught, there's pegs to hold it on the back, and that is the traditional G1 look on the back. It looks so much better that way that I'm not even having him hold his weapons. I'm just leaving it on the back. It looks so much better. And this is the leader. Bruticus, trying to... it's the biggest figure, about 2 inches taller than the other figures in the line. And look at this, very impressive. Translucent for the eyes, can go to the sides. Shoulder area, go down. You see, weak point fell off. That's okay. Shoulders can spin, elbows, wrists. They all have about the same articulation. The hands, waist articulation, hips, go up or down, can't spin it there. The knees and the feet a little. This is probably not only the tallest, but it looks really cool. I mean, definitely one of the... They all look pretty good, but this one stands out. The wheels in the back are plastic, as mentioned. And just another nice robot figure. All are well made. I saw from pictures, and it's not in the instructions, but you could build this kind of like a weapons platform. You see this? You could flip these up, and this you could flip down, and even this. It's sort of like a weapons platform. And these even flip. I'll show you. These even flip up. It's kind of an odd, I guess, an unofficial transformation parts. And I'll show you how this is put together. You have the 2 feet of Bruticus, and this is actually the front. So you put it that way, and here, when you put it this way, there is an attachment point right here for this, and that's the connecting points there. And here on the big weapons, there's a connecting point. And so this is the Bruticus weapon. And actually this, the handle, you remove it, and when it's Bruticus's weapon, it really should be on that end. And these actually, which bend, you actually see that, you lock it in. They didn't even tell you that. So you get these 2 pieces, 3, 4, 5. And here's another fun little thing I've seen a picture of online. You put the 2 feet of Bruticus and the big weapon here, big gun, and you get blast off, and I don't know, you put him here, and a makeshift, it sort of looks like a makeshift space shuttle platform for blast off. Again, this is not in the instructions. This is Bruticus, and gonna try my best to show you the details here, the combined form of all 5 robots here. First, the good news is it looks incredible, and check out the height here. Measuring it to the head, it is almost 19 inches, but if you go right to the shoulder tops and the top of the cannon, it is almost 23 inches tall. And shoulder length between the arm shoulders is about 10 inches. And here's the honest review of Bruticus. is that while it looks totally amazing put together like this, I'm really not gonna touch it or show you the articulation other than point it out, because it is very weak to put together. Like the parts will fall off. Like if you try to manipulate the hand here, the hand thing is going to fall off by the wrist. Same here. And while there's a peg to hold his weapon cannon here, it could fall off very easy, this cannon. Also, it should be mentioned, his weapon, it can flip up the barrel, and but it just looks better down. And one of the feet here, the pegs here, fall off very easy, and the waist, it goes like to the sides real easy, and the back is loose, like the cannon area. And I'm leaning it against this section here of a wall, because if I try to stand it forward and manipulate it, a lot of parts are going to fall off, it's going to flop around, and that's not good. The real, and I'm trying my best to make this review, the real thing about this Bruticus is it's just meant to probably stand in a static pose like this, look intimidating, look fantastic, and that's about it for your shelf. It's not really meant, I think, to be manipulated or played with. I'll show the back view a little later. I'll flip it around. But I just want to show you like the side views here. And I'll point out the articulations. You could remove these, like the cannons here, the weapons here, if you didn't want to, but it just adds a little more to keep it. This was an additional part, as well as the sides here that they gave you, extra pieces you had to put together. The Onslaught trailer, the back end, that attaches here, and it connects to the body there. The connection points are good for the arms and the legs. The connecting points are real solid. I'll show you the articulation you could get here. There's a little manipulation by the ankle pieces that you could do. And the knees can bend really well back and forth. And the upper thighs here, you can spin it to the left or right. The hips here are very loose. They could go up, down, and to the sides. You see how I spaced it out to the sides a bit? I think looks good for posing. The waist, I'm not really sure. I don't think there is a real waist articulation. The upper body could move to the sides, but I'm not sure about twisting it. The head sculpt is really nice. Look at this. Hopefully it's going to show up. One is articulated also. You can spin it to the sides a bit. One thing that's nice is the Onslaught head. It just flipped right on like that, which is really cool. The shoulders can go, you could swivel it up and down. There is some degree of that. And the elbows can turn, as you can see it here. The elbows, you can turn it. And the fingers are articulated. One right here by the base of the thumb and the thumb area. In the middle got one. The fingers are very articulated, so you can hold the weapon well. But really, it's just going to flop around if I try to mess with the articulation. It's going to fall, parts are going to come off. This is Bruticus, the back view. I gotta hold it. You can see the huge cannons in the back. You see the wheels here, the connecting back. These are the feet, the cannon parts showing here. The back view is pretty plain, and See that? It's not really much to say about the back view here. It's kind of back heavy, and you see like how loose it could be. You know, overall, Rob, what do you think? Your final opinion of Bruticus, this third-party Transformer action figure, and you get 5 figures. With that being said, each individual figure of the 5 parts is pretty big in terms of scale, and to me, due to the size and the sculpting and the overall impression of each individual robot and each individual vehicle mode, it was worth it. So to get 5 pieces here to make Bruticus and each individual robot, I think was worth the price. And Bruticus, due to the size, 19 inches to the head, 23 to the cannon tops, it just looks impressive. Again, for a display, this is basically what I'm going to do. Just leave it like this, and I think that's all you could really do. There is so many loose parts that will fall off if you manipulate it that you probably really can't move it much or articulate it much. So it just looks impressive, and this was a pretty tough figure to review, to film. Hope I did good. I tried my best, and thanks for watching, and talk to you later.